You are now listening to the National Show with Gangsterville and McGee. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. All right. No Nation, this is the National Show with Gangster Vizil and McGee. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the alert button so you get alerted to when all of our shows come on. We're on youtube.com /@National. That's at NATIONOLE. We're also on IGX, and all of the links you can find on our link tree, which is linktree /National Show. That's NATIONOLESHOW. And then you can go to our website, national.com, NATIONOLE.com for our.
You better know how to spell com by now, people.
Right.
Shout out to Binsky for all his support and help.
Shout out to Binsky.
Tolerance of my of me. Tolerance of me. Poor guy. Gangsterville witness. Binsky have to deal with me yesterday. It ain't easy, bro. It's amazing that he and I have been friends for so long. He's a saint.
Yeah, he's amazing. Truly.
No, man. It's a big day, dude. It is a big day. I like that we have started doing the podcast in the mornings. And I apologize that you got to get up a little extra early, but I think we're better at it. We're we ain't smoked as much weed yet. So like we're a little clearer, right? Like we sound a little better, etc. But also it gets like today, like I woke up with like real excitement for the day. I knew that RBC Canadian Open was starting and our guy Luke Clanton was playing with the big boys. He moved out of his dorm room. He is off on his professional trajectory. He is like, nice. Let's see. He's 3 over par, 8 holes in, but he started on the back 9, so it's a little tougher of a go of it, but a lot of golf left. All right. He's got to get the nerves to settle. We're going to see him make the cut and have a strong weekend.
Yes, sir.
And so I woke up all excited for that and really knowing that tonight is the NBA Finals, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The NBA Finals, man.
Neither of our teams made it. Neither of our
teams made it, but both the Paul George teams made it.
Oh man, he gets a ring no matter who.
Right.
Instrumental building both organizations.
Dang, boy.
Oh man. Now I kind of wish at some point he would have gone through Denver. Think about how many picks we'd have now that he's on another team, right?
Yeah. That's hilarious, man.
We did a big on the Bet Your Ash podcasting network where all the shows are available at betyourash.com and on the Bet Your Ash feeds on Instagram. On Spotify and Apple Podcasts. At Bet Your Ash Pod. On the socials, all that stuff. So for the network, for the Bet Your Ash show, we did a big Game 1 preview. We did a series preview. We did a Game 1 preview. We've been talking about it all week. But let me ask you, man, what do you think's going to happen in the series? Who do you think's winning the series? And like the money line is like minus 700 if you like OKC. It's tough to make money to bet on OKC, but if you like the Pacers, you can get them at plus 500. 5-1.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Thunder, man. Yeah. And I mean, nothing against the Pacers. I feel like the Pacers are the Thunder maybe 2 or 3 years ago. When they was making deep drives in the playoffs, but they was just too young and didn't have enough experience. Now OKC, they got 2-3 years of deep playoff experience under their belts with all the young cats that they got on their roster or whatever.
Last year they had come, right?
Yeah,
they went out in second round or something, right? But it was a long series. I remember.
But right. But even like they've been having dominating seasons as well or whatever.
This
like
season, last couple
years, they've winning 50+ games and stuff or whatever. So you put that, I feel like those teams, they was doing it in the season, but they had to figure out how to win in the playoffs. I kind of feel like they figured that out this year, and they've caused 3 head coaches to lose their job this year too, including Denver's. Like right after they play the Thunder, it seems like coaches get fired. Even Tom Thibodeau got fired, and I'm like, I don't even get that. But anyways,
teams call me and hire me, you know.
I'll take
okay, so you like the Thunder for the series. What about tonight? It's the Thunder plus 9.5 points spread. You think the Thunder win game
Thunder
1?
On all home games, yeah. Heck yeah.
You think they win by double digits even after 9 days off?
Yep.
Right? Okay. Yep. All right. Well,
it's not about the offense
right now. Who owes who dinner right now? Do I owe you dinner?
We even, but I ain't gonna bet on this one, bro. I'm not too confident. I'm not like the
9.5 points is just too many. If it was 6.5 points, I'd be betting OKC. But at 9.5, I got to bet Indiana. I think it's a closer game than that. I don't think it's gonna be double. I don't think it'll be a blowout. There will be a blowout, maybe 2 in this series. I don't know which games they're going to be. I don't think it'll be game 1. I don't think it'll be game 1. All right. Talked about basketball. We talked about golf real quick. I don't think Daniel Berger's playing this weekend. Brooks Koepka's playing live. They start tomorrow in Virginia. So that's all the Florida State golfers. It's a little baby. It's a little baby pro no report. We have responsibilities, buddy. We got big job to do today. Last week, you and I went through the Buccaneers schedule to try to plan out a trip or something like that. But that was just practice, bro. That was just practice because today we have to go through the Florida State football schedule. All right. This is the important one. This is the reason we do this show. You know? You know already. Like, I don't even have to mention it. I don't even have to tell you. I can just tell you the date. You already know all about our first game. It is at 3:30 in the afternoon on August 30th. It is in Tallahassee. The traditional powerhouse. Probably the most dominant brand in the sport over 100 years. Up there with Notre Dame. Up there with the very few others, right? Honestly, it's probably just Notre Dame and Alabama. They are Alabama Crimson Tide are coming to Tallahassee. I think it's the first time, right? Or first time ever, or like forever, right? For a long time. They are going to come play Florida State Seminoles to start the season.
Yep.
We going?
I don't know about this one, bro, because I got something else going on in August. But as far as the game, I don't know, bro. This is a weird. It's weird because it's, for one, the whole across the plate with college football. With the transferring and the NIL, and I'm not saying this because I'm against it. I fucking love it for the kids and choices and everything or whatever.
Get your money,
bring
gentlemen.
it down
get
like
your
that.
Money. Get your money and get good advice on what to do with it.
And if you don't get your money, then I'm a leaver. But I don't. It's just the college football itself is you can't see which team is going to be what every year with all of the changes going on and stuff or whatever. And then particularly with FSU and Alabama, Nick Saban's gone. New coach ain't no pushover now. I'm not saying Nick Saban's gone. We got a cupcake or whatever. Yeah,
right. He had a year to get comfy in the league.
Right.
You know. It takes a minute, you gotta get used to the new commute to work. You gotta like your view from your office, and you gotta get, the right guys in the right positions, both as on the coaching staff and in the playing roster.
Yep. So we could see a better year out of them this year or whatever with the more players in the system, and then our team is a complete toss up, man.
Right.
Like,
I agree with you. I expect Alabama to be better than last year. I definitely don't expect them to be worse than last year. That was bottom out. They're not going, and that's not going to last, right? It's not going to be some long valley, like they're going to. When Alabama's bad, everything changes, and they have to bounce back. They have to. There's too big of a infrastructure behind that team. It's too important to the state. It's
much money involved. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so you're right. I don't expect Alabama to be as bad as last year, and I'm in the same boat as you. I just don't know what to expect out of Florida State. Right. I just don't know. And you're right. Like, we got new guys, some guys left, and Alabama got new guys, some guys left. Like, there's nonstop movement, so it makes it a little harder to know what to expect from year to year. We also had a ton of change on our coaching staff. Right? Like, both coordinators, both sides of the ball. We have to be better than last year, right? We have to. Really, last year needs to be the worst year for us and Alabama, right? Like, that needs to be a quick bottom out and right back into the mix. The question is, who bounced back better? And I'm going to assume it was Alabama. I'm going to assume it was Alabama. And that sucks. Yeah. I want it to be us, right? I wish I could be like, have faith and be like, yeah, we're right back out of my.
Yeah, nah. Too many pieces to fill, man. Too many pieces to replicate. Not much production coming back besides the Cam Davis out of the running back position or whatever. Who do we really got returning? Starts and production from last year or whatever on offense.
Yeah, there's some linemen. There's some linemen that we're happy to have back in the mix. But ultimately, everybody that was starting last year, like everybody that was in the mix last year, I mean, it was a bad year. Like, obviously, we have to consider replacing every starter. You have to consider every position that was open, I'm assuming, in the offseason this year. And it was, sometimes that makes for a great camp. Sometimes that means, we got new coaches, new players. And if y'all don't get it together, like, I won't be here either, is how Norvell's walking in there. And, every job's up for grabs, and go fucking fight for it. Like, you want it, get it. You want this, get it. That could lead to a very productive offseason, maybe. Maybe there's a team identity that's rallied. Maybe there's been an investment in the right players to keep and the right players to bring in. But I have way more faith in their bounce back than our bounce back. But right. Or like you implied, they had less work to do. We had more work to do this offseason.
Exactly, bro. And then you never know, man. Like, I remember Francois first year, we didn't know what to expect, and he came out to be a stud. Snoop Menace, David Carr, not David Carr, but the Carr receiver that we had, I forget his name. Greg Carr, Greg Carr, all of those
Panthers?
years.
Is that right?
Panthers
for a while.
And I mentioned those players because those are players that we didn't know what to expect the year when they came in, and then they came in and we're, oh snap, we got a dope receiver. Oh snap, we got a dope quarterback. Oh snap, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that this is one of those years where we have nothing to look
coming out party.
Yeah. We have a coming out party from someone or whatever,
right?
And lead the team, man. And we need that from offense and defense. But again, that's a lot to ask. So
it's a lot to ask, man. But tough first game. That's really.
Tough first game. Tough first game. It's gonna be hard.
Fortunately, we can back it up with two wins right afterwards. Ones we can count on. Right, East Texas A&M comes to town the following week, September 6th. And it's scheduled for noon. And then Kent State the following week. Actually, it's 2 weeks later.
Bye week.
So we play 2 games and we have an early bye week. And then Kent State comes to town on the 20th. So we go. We start the season with 3 home games, and we should probably be. I mean, if we're not 2-1, it's a problem. It's weird, right? Like, we should definitely be 2-1 at the end of that. And then first road game. It's weird. It's tough when we have our. Sorry, let me just go back to the starting with 3 home games. Tallahassee, fucking humid as fuck at the beginning of September, bro. like that's not the greatest football weather, right? Like that's going to be. I don't know. I would want to, if I'm scheduling my Florida State schedule, I'm backloading home games as much as possible. So just saying, not the greatest time of year to go to Tallahassee. So first road game, September 26th. We go to Virginia, UVA. UVA has been down the last few years. They have not exactly thrived in the NIL era. It's not that kind of school. They don't have that kind of booster organization. It could be a long time until we see a UVA of the late 90s and early 2000s ever again, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they are ever going to be the organization they once were. It's just not today's college athletic world isn't for them. They are a true academic institution first.
Yep.
So I don't think we really have to worry about it. They'll always be a beast in basketball, but it's easier to be a beast in basketball. You don't have to carry as many players,
pieces.
Right? You don't have to get as many players through admissions or anything like that.
Yep.
So that could be a chance for a W for us. It would not suck to be 3-1 and to be heading back to Tallahassee for an August 4th matchup against Miami Hurricanes.
Yes, sir.
We got any inside info on the post-Cam Ward Hurricanes?
If I were to use my football knowledge and guess, I'm just going to be nice and say it's not going to be as good of a year as last year.
I'm not as high on Carson Beck as other
at
people
all,
are.
at all, man, at all. And not on top of Carson Beck, they lost a lot of talent in the draft last year.
Well, when you have a good year and you're kind of, maybe I'm good enough, maybe I'm not good enough for the NFL, or maybe I'm this round, maybe I'm that round. If you have a good year, you jump. You got to jump.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't.
We saw it when we had the 13-win year. Most of our teams. It happens to everybody who does well. Well, it happens to Ohio State every year. It happens to a lot of teams. That's why depth is so important in college football, and that's what's really hard to do now.
You just put it in perspective. If being a Florida State fan that I am, I'm wishing them everything we got after our 13-0 year.
Yeah,
because they got a new quarterback transfer in, just like we had.
Yeah, that's funny. We've tried that formula.
Right.
We resemble that team. Oh,
right.
Wow. I hadn't even thought about it like that, but you're right, man. They are due for a bad year. We may want to look at their win total. In Vegas, we might want to bet, see what it is projected at,
go with that
and maybe go under on the win total. I don't know. We'll talk. Maybe we'll do an ACC regular season win total, over under pod or something.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. That would be a good one to get ready, and it forces us to have a look at the other teams in the conference, which will just help us when it's time to play them or watch them play other teams. We'll be prepared for that shit. So, all right.
Yep.
After Miami, obviously we could be. I'm going to be extra optimistic, okay, on this episode. All right, I'll probably be super pessimistic before the season starts, but right now it's summertime. I'm going to be positive. All right, we could be 4-1 here.
Yeah,
we could be 4-1 after Miami. Okay, and then we get to stay home again. God, we must have a lot of road games at the end of this schedule.
Right.
We are then at home October 11th. And Pittsburgh comes to town. Another kind of organization like Virginia, it's going to be tough for them to thrive in the new college football landscape.
Yeah.
They always have a couple wide receivers that are just amazing. Like usually a little taller and faster than everybody else. And they usually have a great quarterback. They do well in the in recruiting the weapon, spots, but they never, what Pittsburgh never is able to do, which is weird because they're in Pennsylvania and next to West Virginia and Ohio. It's a hotbed, but they never seem to have the offensive line and the defensive line that the teams that get them in the end, always have, that always keeps them just off the top tier of the conference is that it's that lineman play. If they can start loading up on some big boys, and they should be able to find them locally. That's what I mean. Is like Ohio and Pennsylvania are just hotbeds for offensive and defensive linemen. If they could do that, they could be a real weapon. If they brought in the right recruiting, offensive and defensive line coaches or something. I don't know what it takes to fix that, but if they focused on that, they could be a real good program.
Which is really baffling because they, from what I read, like Pitt, they follows the whole Pittsburgh steel, a hardworking blue collar mentality with their program.
You see it every year. Like you're like, these guys are guys that got up at 4 this morning. You could just tell when they're coming out.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they don't get it together before October 11th. Right? Start investing on the offensive and defensive lines on the 12th of October, please. But, after that, we got a huge traditional ACC fucking bout. We go to the Bay Area. We're gonna go hang out with E40. Oh, side note. Have you watched the E40 Tiny Desk performance yet?
It is saved. It's on my list to watch. I saved it on YouTube yesterday.
Amazing. It is amazing. I almost cried at the end. Literally, I was touched at a certain point. Like I felt something. Like it was amazing. Okay, side point.
That's what's up.
Because you got to remember, Gainesville and I were very passionate about Florida State football and Florida State athletics. But we identify with music. It's part of us. So like that
in
passion
the DNA.
We get distracted easily when music comes up. So sorry about that. Yep. So we go to Stanford. It's going to be a 10:30 our time kickoff. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be at Stanford.
Yeah. It's because of the time change. We got a late night game here. I'm going to be at the bar. I'm going to have Jack Daniels in both hands, baby. You should think about that one. That's a short flight for you. I mean, it's just kind of cool. When else are you going to go to the campus of Stanford too? It's gorgeous, man. Palo Alto is gorgeous. There's 3 airports there. You can fly into San Fran, Oakland, or San Jose, so you can easily find a cheap flight. You should think about it, man. That could be a fun Saturday night. That's a win for us, man. Stanford sucks.
The only thing get me with it is we beat Cal last year.
Whatever, we own the Bay, baby.
And I feel and I feel like the only reason we beat Cal is because Cal had to fly their ass all the way over to Florida. So now with us having to fly ass all the way out to Stanford, I don't know if that's gonna, you know what I mean?
I see your point, but the difference is this: we forced Cal to play an afternoon game, and this game is scheduled for nighttime. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so what? We started. I guess that's a little weird for their internal clock. It's a kickoff 10:30 East Coast, but at least it's not extra early. I'd rather the guys have to kick off extra late.
You're right.
So that's a little different. That when I use that formula on, not to like give out all my secrets or anything, but I think a lot of people use this. In the NFL, whenever a West Coast team travels to the East Coast and plays in the early time slot, I bet against them. Period. It's a rule. Yeah. I do not. Yeah. I always bet against the West Coast team. It works too in college, but it doesn't work with the East Coast teams going west. It never works that way. You know what I mean? It never works that way. It works this way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. West Coast teams going east,
which makes sense because it's 2 to 3 hours earlier. So yeah.
Right, earlier is the problem. Having to get up early, or not get up, like wake up. I mean, get your energy up and get ready for the game early is strange sometimes for people.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's why Ohio State is complaining about the fact that Fox always has them on the noon kickoff game, right? Like, it's bad for business. We make more money if our home game is a night game, right? But also, like, these guys have been practicing in their afternoons their whole lives, and to make them have that early game, it's just you're not getting the best play out of the players, right? And that I bet against that shit every time. For the West Coast teams, but it never works.
Take note of that, no.
Stick with me, I'll make you a better gambler.
Heck yeah, already have.
So one quick road game, head out to fucking West Coast, and then we come back and we have another home game. At home.
Thanks for that,
Wake
Pep.
Forest.
I'm feeling a lot better about that game now.
No, I think Stanford's a dub for us. I don't think that. I know they just brought in Andrew Luck. They just brought in who they bring in as their coach, Frank Reich, as their head coach for a couple years, right? As like a transition coach. But they made all those announcements like February. It was like it wasn't early in the offseason. You know, these were late decisions, and I just don't think they're going to have the time to recruit players, right? So they're going to have to coach up the talent they have. Now, I think that a great head coach and an NFL approach will coach up. Like they will get as much as they can out of the players they have, but they have the recruiting's been so bad the last few years that they don't have much to start with. So even if they coach them up, they're not going to get enough out of them to even beat us.
Yeah, right.
I shouldn't have said even. I'm sorry. That was rude. I said I was going to be optimistic. I am, though. So far, I got us at one loss. And now we're at home, and we get to play Wake Forest. That's November already, man. And Wake Forest is coming to town.
Wake Forest. Boy, look at here.
I got nothing on that, man. I got nothing on that.
Only thing I got on them is history that's burning me.
Right. And what they and historically speaking, they catch us. They catch us when we least expect.
Every time we ain't looking at them demon deacons.
Right. And we have the chance to be 6-1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6-1 going into this game. And you know what happens when college kids are 6-1? The only loss was to Alabama, and it was 5 long weeks ago. It means they get overconfident. This is the trap game. This is the game that we're supposed to win, and we're looking forward to the next week thinking, oh shit, we're going to be 7-1 going to South Carolina to play Clemson. And all of a sudden, Wake Forest is going to fucking catch us, bro. Yeah. Shit, I'm supposed to be optimistic.
Yeah. I could definitely see that happening, though, bro.
It's a trap game, man. We better really, Coach Norvell, I know you listen to the show, or I think he listens as a podcast while he exercises and shit. I don't think he has the time to sit down and watch us. If he's watching anything, it better be filmed. But Coach, hear me now. Like I know most of the shit that comes out of my mouth, you don't really take me all that seriously. Smart. A lot of the shit that comes out of my mouth is just that shit. But this is real. All right. Keep an eye on this one, bro. Keep an eye on this one. You gotta have the guys ready because that's a trap game waiting to happen. I recognize a trap game when I see a trap game. That's a trap game. Because the following week we're going to Clemson. Right. And Clemson probably has one loss or none at that point also. And all of a sudden, everybody said, oh, the ACC is back, or whatever they're saying. And Florida State and ACC, watch Wake Forest, man. I'm scared of that game.
Yeah. Definitely scared
that
of
trip
that
to Clemson
game.
Could be really tough, too, because I suspect Clemson's going to be solid this year. Now, they've finally accepted that they have to grab a couple guys. And they have to accept a few transfers, but they're being real picky, and that's dangerous, man. That means they have a team that's grown up together, and they're just adding to it. I worry about the future of Clemson now that they have arrived in modern times.
Bro, they got a quarterback that's been there since DJU was there. So
he's been there since I was
right. So the contingency of having a quarterback in place for 3-4 years alone is just puts them that much above the competition. Not to mention the solid offensive and defensive line. They probably just gotta replace a couple special players, wide receivers, running backs, DBs, and then it's lock and loaded and ready to go. So yeah, If we beat Clemson this year, I will be totally surprised. We'll 3 games.
We'll do a conference odds, like a conference winner odds pod where we go through all the teams in the conference and look at their odds. It's going to be hard to get me to pick any other team in the conference other than Clemson to win the ACC this year. I think it's their conference to lose.
Yep, totally agree, man. Totally agree. I mean, you got some outsiders like SMU could upscale, you know what I'm saying, and surprise.
Maybe a year away. They might be a year away.
It was right there, bro. It was right there on the cusp last year. But
growing pains, you know, we talk about it like teams that go to the playoffs, like you got to learn how to win. Like OKC had no chance last year.
Yeah,
better chance this year, right? So, like, I think SMU will they're going to be a beast in this conference. I bet you they have won the conference at least once in their first, let's say, 6 years in the conference. Like they'll have one conference championship, and that's amazing because they were, you know, cut off.
If they get one before Miami, I'm just gonna.
They might win the conference before we do again.
Oh man, yeah, that could be it. But
they're way closer to winning this conference than we are right now.
Yeah, but at least we won it the last couple of years. I'm saying Miami ain't never won the ACC, so it'd be
That's
funny
so weird
if SMU.
To me too. That's so weird.
They've never won the ACC, so it'd be weird if SMU comes in and wins it before they get a chance to. Even with the year they had last year, just crazy, bro, crazy.
Our guy just went birdie, so now he's just one over at the turn.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go. Go Noles, baby. I'm so happy. I love it when Florida State motherfuckers are dominating on the golf course. I love it.
Hell yeah.
All right. So we sort of already talked about Clemson when we talked about Wake Forest. Sorry, we're just, you know, like that was talked about that one. It's going to be a tough win. So at best, after this Clemson game, I think we have 2 losses. That's like best case scenario, right? We have Alabama and Clemson both got us, right? And then another home game, November 15th. One of these might be a neutral site games because it feels like there's way too many home games for us here. And I'm just looking at like the super abbreviated version of the schedule. I'm not looking at all the info. One of these might be a neutral site, but regardless, we will be playing at home November 16th or 15th, pardon me, Virginia Tech. They come to town. Similar to what we were talking about with Virginia and Pittsburgh, where it's tougher for them to step in this new world, but they have a little bit more history than the other 2 teams to draw upon and to like play when they're going into recruiting plays and stuff. I think Virginia Tech will be able to be a decent ACC team in the NIL era. But they're going to need like some sort of dynamic booster to like breathe life into them. You know what I mean? They're going to need some sort of presence in there. I don't know. The right coach, you know what I mean? Like the right coach. They need their Bobby Bowden or their Saban. They need their like guy who's going to be there forever and be part of their identity. It's just for the last, let's say 10 or 15 years, it just feels like a stepping stone job. It's not really a destination job. Nobody really is trying to be there and rebuild and be a part of it. But that fan base will support whoever does, man. They'll rally.
I remember them being dominant this with Marcus Vick.
Yeah. But that's all they need, though. They need a little bit. They need a little bit of success, and that fan base will come running. Like, oh yeah, football. They love football, man. I find myself like there's like a soft spot for them. They're like, Virginia Tech. I really wish they'd be better. You know, like every year, I feel bad for them in a way that I don't feel bad for any other team in this conference. You know, I'm like, yeah, fuck Duke. You know, all these other teams, right? But there's something about Virginia Tech. And honestly, I kind of feel that way about Wake sometimes because they're just scrappy and they've always been scrappy. So I have a weird soft spot. You know, I respect them. They've earned my respect is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think we can handle Virginia Tech at home, which means one more conference game. We go to NC State to play the Wolfpack. Susceptible. If we're firing all cylinders, if we're healthy, that's a winnable game. It's not going to be an easy game. We're very similar place as NC State is right now, right? But I think if we can win that game, we might only have one conference loss. And I think we might be able to, God, I don't even want to say it out loud. We might be able to be into the ACC championship this year. The game. I'm not saying we're going to win the conference. I'm saying
right. Yeah.
The ceiling is the conference championship game. if we get to that, that is a stupid successful season. That's like
right.
I feel like the schedule. Oh, I didn't even mention the last game. We know what the last game is. We are going to the Swamp this year.
Mm-hmm. That's
That's
I don't know about that one, bro.
It sucks.
And
we play both Alabama and Florida this year, but other than those two games, we have a very manageable schedule. We have a very great conference schedule, beneficial conference schedule that SMU is a tough one. Clemson, but we don't have to play them, right? Like like they're having a good year. The UNC is going to have a weird, a weird burst to this year with Belichick there and all that drama. And we don't have to play them.
Right.
This is a good schedule for us. It's just Clemson. That's like the tough in conference game for us. Because we expect
Clemson, Miami, and then we got to look out for them. Look out for those biters, the Wake Forest and the NC States too.
No, of course. And honestly, even if Miami's having a bad year, they're going to play their best game of the season.
Right, versus us. Yeah, so Miami. So it's a lot of games that can go 50-50 that just got me. I feel like if we address our offensive and defensive line the way we should, a lot of those games that's going 50-50 will turn our way. But if we come back with that same energy from last year on the offensive line, particularly and defensive line or whatever,
I expect us to have a different attitude on both sides of the ball, mainly because we have different coordinators on both sides of the ball. So you have different voice, you have a different message, you have different different interactions with the players, all that stuff. The question is it enough? Right? Is changing the tone enough to fix everything that went on last year? I could argue that last year had a touch of quicksand to it. Right? We started getting sucked in and we started fighting and it sucked us further and further in. You know what I mean? And it spiraled out of control. Okay. Well, if something can spiral out of control, shouldn't it also be able to spiral into control?
And that's my optimistic point on it, because last year really reminded me a lot of Willie Thagard's last season with us, and it took and then that had me worried because it took Norvell 2 or 3 seasons, including COVID. We're not going to knock that off or whatever, but the season after and the season after that, it took us a while to get back. So that's what got me feeling antsy. But at the same time, that was a different environment then than it is now. The portal wasn't jumping then like it's jumping now. So we definitely have the tools to turn the program around a lot faster than what we did then. It's just that we utilize those tools. Did we get those right players? Some of my concerns come with a lot of the players that we brought in, like transfers or whatever before the season ended up leaving right after the spring game or whatever, which could be good. I mean, if you didn't show up, you didn't do your damn job. I definitely don't want you on the field stinking it up or whatever. But the downside of it is that less contingency that you got is always, pieces moving or whatever. But hey, if you're out there playing Florida State football, if you're wearing some garnet and gold, if you're putting them pads on for fall season this year, this is your time. Just like I said earlier with Greg Carr and Snoop Menace and Francois and many, many other former stars that we've had that have came from nothing. Hey, you can prove something this year. You can put a name into marketing this year, baby.
There's an opportunity.
NIL money in your pockets after this season, baby.
You can make millions of dollars to set up your entire career. The guy that has the big year and pulls us out of what happened gets to sign autographs at profit for the remainder of his life, Right.
So do it, baby. We waiting on you. We need you.
Yeah, we cheering for you. We here. I'll pay. If one of these dudes can get us up out of this, I will be one of those people that, oh shit, so-and-so is going to be signing autographs over at the fill in the blank. I'm going to go when I'm old, man.
Straight up.
Go in and back. I remember 2025, man. We were in a dark place. You saved us. Here, have some money. Sign this thing. All right. I will support you forever. All right.
Straight up, man.
I'm excited. It's about time to start getting ready for football. We will do an episode on the conference odds, like we talked about. We will do over-unders, and we will do all this other stuff. We have a bunch of stuff to get ready for, right? We'll look at the national scene. We'll do the national championship odds and look at some of the teams that have a chance to win it all. We'll talk about the new playoffs. Playoffs? Are you kidding me?
Playoffs? Are you kidding me? Playoffs?
And we'll just keep having fun because it's about to be football season. We got some stuff in the works for you. Pardon me. And yeah, man, we gonna try to make it happen. Please tell your friends. Please tell your friends.
Yes,
this is the National Show. It is available on our YouTube page at National Show. Oh no, wait, just at National on YouTube. And you can find all our other links, all our social media links, all that stuff at national.com and Linktree/National Show, NationOleshow. The National Show is a co-production between Broham and B. Yappin, and it's because of that, it is also available as an audio product if you prefer to just listen. BetYourAsh.com, the Bet Your Ash feeds on Apple Podcasts and Spotify is where it is available for now. And if you would like to be extra supportive of us, you can go to Gangstaville's Linktree page. It is /Gangstaville, GAINSTAVILLE, and you can listen to all of his music. He has tons of music. All the links are there. Listen to it on all kinds of different platforms. Like it on all the different platforms. Share it on all the different platforms. His new album's about to drop, Ghetto Gospel, and that's the way you support your friends that make music. You go stream their content on all the different platforms, all right? So please be a good friend to Gangstaville. He will be a good friend to you. And I think that's everything, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right, well, go Noles.
Go Noles.
And you have just finished listening to the National Show with Gangsta, Fizzle, and McGee.